Feels good to talk more Bears news. Yo, what's up, world? Welcome back to the channel. APW Sports signing in. And today we're going to talk about the Bears schedule release last night. Way too early predictions, tougher games, hardest stretch of the season, opponents, all that we're going to talk about in today's video. But before I start the video, I just want to give a special thank you to the first responders out there that are risking our lives to help us during this crazy time in this country, and just to make sure that you guys are staying safe out there throughout this weird time. But let's dive into this video. Without further ado, let's dive into it. So in the 2020 season, the Bears began play at Ford Field against the Detroit Lions in Week 1. Week 2, we come back home to face the New York Giants. Week 3 is going to be a little bit of a personal game for me because my brother is a big-time Atlanta Falcons fan. So we're going to be on the road at the Falcons' new facility, taking on the Falcons in Week 3. Week 4, we come back home to face the Indianapolis Colts. Now, this point, the beginning of the season, I think it's going to be a little bit of an easier stretch for the Bears because there's not really high expectations coming from the Lions. There's not really high expectations from the New York Giants. The Falcons are in a state of flux, especially on the defensive side of the ball. And the Colts will be our toughest out of the first 4 games of the year, in my opinion. But I think the Colts, they're still a little bit in a state of flux of their own, transitioning from the Luck, Brissett, now playing with Phillip Rivers as quarterback. I really see that as a stretch. The Bears can go easily 3-1, 4-0 to kick off the season on the right foot. But the next game, I think it's going to be a little bit of a tougher test, and our toughest test of the season to begin yet, as we stay home to face newly acquired Buck quarterback Tom Brady and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers on Thursday Night Football. That is going to be one of our toughest games to begin the year. We have Brady and his new offensive weapons, and Gronk coming back as well. So this is going to be the toughest game of our beginning season in 2020. The weeks following, I think our schedule kind of dips just a tad as we go on the road, nonetheless, to take on the Carolina Panthers, and right after that, we stay on the road to travel to Los Angeles to take on the LA Rams. Those are 2 games on that little road spin that are very winnable games for the Chicago Bears. Carolina, with new quarterback Teddy Bridgewater, how are they going to fare? They don't really have a lot of weapons as far as wide receiver, and Christian McCaffrey is basically the entire offense for the Carolina Panthers, to be honest. And the Rams, you're facing them without Todd Gurley, one of the more dynamic backs in the game in the backfield. You lose Brandon Cooks as well this offseason. In the defense, you still have Aaron Donald, but I don't think the defense is as talented as, say, 2018 and 2019. So it's going to be down from that Tampa Bay team that we face, but those are winnable games as well. Following that, this is, I think, the toughest game of the Bears season. It's at home against Drew Brees, Michael Thomas, and the New Orleans Saints offense. Now, I think the Saints offense is one of the best, if not the best offense in the league. And if you guys don't know, yes, I am a Drew Brees fan. I think he's one of the greatest quarterbacks to play the game of football, and he's still playing the game of football at an elite level, even over the age of 41. I think even last year, we were hampered a bit with Trubisky coming back from his shoulder injury against the Saints, and this is going to be somewhat of a revenge game for the Chicago Bears as they are still at home, and I think this team is going to be more ready to face that potent New Orleans Saints offense. The following game, we take on an AFC Championship appearance team, the Tennessee Titans, on the road. We'll have to worry about Derrick Henry, of course. Tannehill still QB after signing that big extension this offseason. The Tennessee Titans also carry a very good defense, even though they lost Jarrell Casey in free agency this offseason. Even with Coach Mike Vrabel, I still think Tennessee has a really, really solid defense to pair with the Bears' new offense and Bill Lazor, to pair with the Bears' defense trying to stop Derrick Henry. It's going to be a very, very tough matchup, and one of the more underrated matchups, I think, that is on the Chicago Bears schedule in 2020. And then we have another Monday night contest against the Minnesota Vikings. They are coming on one of their better seasons with Kirk Cousins playing, I think, his best football last year. So can the Vikings bring that momentum into this season? The Bears have had the Vikings number the last 2 years, beating them and playing very, very well against them, especially on the defensive side of the ball. And this game is right before our bye week. So they get this game Monday night and they get to rest afterwards, for which I think is the toughest part of the Bears' schedule. And I think the bye week comes at the right time so they can get rested, prepare. Coming off the bye week, we get our first matchup against them damn Green Bay Packers. We all know the Packers are the rivals. Tough test every year. I don't think they improve much on the offensive side of the ball, but they still have one of the better quarterbacks to play the game in Aaron Rodgers. And Aaron Rodgers, to be honest, he has good games against the Bears. No matter what defense we have, Aaron Rodgers has good games against the Bears. As much as I hate that team, as much as I hate Rodgers because of the team he plays on, I cannot deny the man's greatness. To be honest, I cannot deny the man's greatness one bit. After the Green Bay Packers, we played the Detroit Lions, another division rival, this time at home. And I think Detroit, I still don't look at them as a very, very good football team. Even with the additions they made with Jeff Okudah in the draft, I don't feel the Lions is a very good team. After that, we have an AFC South matchup against the Houston Texans. Losing DeAndre Hopkins, I think, is a better matchup for the Bears. Let's be honest, we do not defend DeAndre Hopkins in this game, which is going to help the Bears tremendously. Even though Deshaun Watson, I think, is still one of the top quarterbacks in the NFL with his arm and his legs, it's going to be a challenge for the Bears to defend in that game. Then after that, we have two road contests. First, we have Minnesota again in the Dome. Then after that, we travel to Jacksonville to take on the Jacksonville Jaguars, the team that is very, very beatable. They are easily, I think, going to be one of the lower teams in the NFL coming into 2020 with all that they lost in Jalen Ramsey, AJ Bouye, Calais Campbell, and us acquiring Nick Foles from them. That, I think, is going to be one of the bottom teams in the NFL. Then our last game of the season is against those damn Packers at home. What better way to close the season than to win against them damn Packers at home and potentially go on a playoff run? The toughest stretch of the Chicago Bears season comes in week 5 through 9 easily, as we face Tom Brady and Tampa Bay Buccaneers. We face the New Orleans Saints, Drew Brees and their offense. We face the Tennessee Titans with that run-heavy offense and Derrick Henry. And we faced Minnesota, who had a really good 2019 season. How we play in that stretch of games can really determine how our season is going to pan out. And we're going into the bye week after playing our tough stretch. So we get that tough stretch, and we can also get the rest after that tough stretch of games. And then the season really goes into a little bit of an easier side. Outside of Green Bay, of course, and Houston and another Minnesota game, we really get, I think, kind of the lower end of the Bears schedule. And us having 4 primetime games is going to really tell the world a lot about how the Bears are, because we get those games later in the season, which has been the past few years. We always get probably weeks 1 through 3 as our primetime games. So we start off early showing what we are, but at that point we're not in the midst of our mid-season form. So we really don't get that primetime stage to really show how we are fully in a mid-season form, and our players are well, everything like that. So it's good to have our 4 primetime games later on in the season, with 2 Monday night games against the Rams and against the Minnesota Vikings. We really get a big time stage in the midst of our season to really show what the Bears are. Now, my early predictions for the Bears, if number 1, quarterback play as well. The defense is elite. I'm not really too much worried about that. And 3, health is the biggest key, because that is what really hurt us last season. So let's just take all of our factors doing well. I could see this Bears team 11-5, 12-4, but my prediction is 11-5, because historically, let's be honest, Bear fans, the Bears usually lose a game or 2 that they have no business losing. And this is just not only 2018, not last year. It's just we have those games, and most years and most teams have them, where they lose a game maybe you don't think they're going to lose. So I see this team going 11-5. I'm not sure about the division yet. That depends on Green Bay adding things. You know what? The hell with it. The Bears are going to win the division. I said it. Yes, I said it. The Bears will be NFC North champions in 2020 with an 11-5 record. I'll just throw that out there. What do you guys think about that prediction? What do you think your prediction is going to be? Leave that in the comment section below. I really want to know what you guys think about the Bears 2020 season. What do you guys think? That's all I've got for you guys today. Like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel, as they help the channel to grow. Thank you for tuning in to day 8 of the 31 video 31 day challenge. And also be sure to follow me on social medias, Instagram and Twitter. Both handles will be APW Sports, and both will be linked in the description box below. You guys stay safe out there. Have a great and excellent day, and I will see you guys tomorrow for day 9 of the challenge. Peace out.
I wanna say thank you to my mom and my daddy for making love the night that you had me. Wanna thank my friends, my sister, and my brother.